All right, hello everybody. This is video 657. This is going to be March 13th, 2020. I just wanted to reach out and do a quick video about electrolysis. Uh, this morning I wondered if I don't think I've ever addressed electrolysis effectiveness from the perspective of the electrologist, and I was curious if you could please post in the comments what do you think your electrologist rate is? And here's what I mean by that is, for example, this morning I got 312 hairs done in about 25 minutes. And so the average for that comes down to like 12.48 hairs per minute. Let's just round it down to 12. And I was kind of curious what we can accept as being a good rate. And obviously, our mileage is going to vary depending on our skin and how dense our hair is and what kind of hair we have. I mean, it's this is probably not a very scientific study, but I was just kind of curious what your rate was if you count. Um, I tend to, in an ideal world, I think at the electrologist's office while we're getting zapped, we have music or something playing to keep our mind occupied from what's being done to us. My electrologist that I go to now, she doesn't have any music, she doesn't play anything, and she really doesn't talk. So that's when I started to count, and I count and then kind of figure out what it was. And I guess I wanted to address, I think when we start our electrologist when we start electrolysis, our biggest concern is we're looking for a trans-friendly electrologist, and I've never met a trans-unfriendly electrologist because that's like going to a mechanic that hates cars. I mean, electrologists, they have to, you know what I mean? It's like it's source of income. Why would you hate a source of income? And I think a trans woman is probably a walking money bag for an electrologist person because it takes so many hours and so many sessions to clear your face and get the hairs done. So I mean, why would any electrologist in their right mind hate a trans person or turn away a trans person? Now, that's just my opinion, and it's probably a broad generality. But I would assume that most electrologists, again, I guess I could see now how electrologists might have religious views or something where they don't feel comfortable working on a trans person. But like I said, I don't think, again, it's like turning away people like a mechanic, turning away people. I'm not going to work on your car. It's money, it's money. So it's definitely to their advantage, or it's definitely to their advantage to be trans friendly. And like I said, I think that's our concern when we start this process. We're like, okay, hey, does anyone have any suggestions for a trans friendly or LGBTQ plus person? And then we, go to someone. And I guess what my bad advice on that is to shop around a little bit and be aware that, there are different types of electrologists. I've had, I'll give you the worst. The worst one, and not from a pain point of view. Definitely, you could go to some electrologist and it's like painful. It's like they're getting their learner's permit and if they were a driver, and they're painful, they're pulling, they don't know what they're doing, they're not very good. It's just a matter of expertise as they build up their skills. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about speed. I went to a very well-known, and everyone said, oh, you need to go to this person. They're great. They're trans-friendly. But when I got there, I would get there 5 to 10 minutes early, and they were always late starting, and they always wanted to sit and talk, and tell you about their life story before they even started, but they start the clock and then they sit there and talk for a couple minutes. And then with this one particular electrologist, as she worked on me, she sat there and talked, and she used her hands to articulate her feelings. And I'm sitting there going, bitch, you're supposed to be doing my face. If you can work and talk, that's great. But in this case, she couldn't do both, and yet she would still charge for the full 30-minute session, and she only worked, you know, this isn't a biblical story of, Jesus talking about, three workers in the fields, and, one came at 8 o'clock in the morning, and one came at noon, and one came at 3, and they all got paid the same wage. You're paying, I guess what I'm driving towards, and probably not very well, is be aware of what you're paying for, and the investments you're making. Definitely, if your situation is there's only one trans friendly electrologist person, you might be stuck for a little bit. But I would definitely suggest shopping around and trying a different few. Find one that you like. Again, personality and their skill set is very, very important. You don't want to go to someone who constantly gives you pain, although it is a very painful process. Maybe that's not a good bar, but like I said, the speed of it. And the electrologist that I go to now, um, she's very friendly, she's a very nice person, but when I get under that light, I mean, she's on the clock, and and it averages out to be, like I said, today was 12 hairs a minute, which probably doesn't sound that great, but in 25 minutes she cleared under my chin. And again, that's probably not that great of an example, because the more you have electrologists, the more sessions you have on an area, the less hairs you should have. So it should speed up over time. But anyway, that's just my video for today. Not in the best of moods. I feel like a grumpy old bitch. Uh, I'm not very happy. We got this virus thing going on, and people are freaking out, and rightfully so. And we all we don't know what's going to happen next. And I guess we turn to the government, we turn to healthcare experts, to kind of tell us and keep us grounded and keep our fears at bay. But it's like the world's kind of chaotic, and I'm looking for a better job. And that's got me a little bit riled, which has nothing to do with the channel, but it's where I'm at. Um, but anywho, I just wanted, like I said, as I was sitting in my chair, I was like, I've never really addressed the speed of which a person goes. And definitely, shop around and consider the investments you're making, because you're going to spend, I mean, I almost wonder if I should have kept a notebook of how many hours and how many sessions I've had. And granted, your mileage is going to vary depending on your beard coverage, how much hair you have, and your age and your stage. Do you have thin hairs? Do you have thick hairs? Those kinds of things. But it's a huge investment. Just be aware of again, the speed of the speed of your technician, as well as the threshold. Are they really painful? Do they know what they're doing? Like I said, I've been to a couple of different ones and various degrees of skill, and I think we're in this day and age, thank goodness, 2020, where transgender is not the secret taboo thing it was some 20 years ago. When I transitioned the first time, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, trans friendly, looking for someone, and now, they don't care. They're happy to take your money. They really are. So be aware, shop around, and good luck to you in your journey. And we'll catch up with you the next time. Good luck, best luck to you in becoming your authentic self as you define it, okay? The other thing I can say to you, if you're lonely, is to get you a kitty cat. Look at that. Look at that cat. He's happy. He's a happy, sleepy cat. My mood has improved. I used to kind of poo-poo therapy animals. I don't consider Harry here a therapy animal, but he's definitely been very therapeutic for me in my feeling a little lonely. I've made some other videos about how I feel somewhat we're destined. MTFs are kind of destined to die alone. Alone and by ourselves, but we might have four little legged friends with us. But that's probably just applicable to me, maybe not to you. But anyway, highly recommend it if you can. It's nice to have someone to talk to. It's nice to have um, someone to complain to and someone to, you know, obviously to pet and go, and then when they snuggle up against you, it's a nice feeling. Who would have thought that old women and cats go together? It's Google old woman and cat, and you'll get thousands of pictures. Who knows? Through the centuries, ancient wisdom. What was it? Ancient Egypt, where the cats were really revered. Who would have thunk? All right, till next time. Good luck to you, my friends, and have a great day. Good luck in your transition. All right, till next time.